It's a tarot deck review, surprise! This deck is a little strange. I just used it for my new moon and Leo readings. It's not a simple deck to use, and I'll show you why. It's called the Luminous Void Tarot, created by Laura Sussman. Beautiful deck. However, this is very much art, as simply as I can state it. I'll show you if you didn't watch those videos. The box is nice and solid. It's larger than your typical tarot deck. You know, we're looking at that. So it comes with a tiny book. There's not very much information in this book, but I've said this in other reviews with the more expensive tarot decks, the more artsy ones. Usually by the time you're spending this kind of money on a tarot deck, you probably already know what all the cards mean. So a huge book isn't necessary. So this deck is gorgeous, okay? But it's shaped like this. That makes shuffling it very difficult. The cardstock is matte, so it also kind of sticks together. It doesn't slide very easily. So we're not gonna do a bridge on this video. Usually this deck, I do overhanded shuffling. It's the only way that you can do that with this deck. It is kind of a matte gold gilded. This is what the back looks like. Front. And I'm gonna go lay out your major arcanas. I'll be right back. And we're back with the Luminous Void. As you'll see, and I mentioned this before, this is very much artwork. This deck is beautiful, however complicated to use if you shuffle the way that I shuffle. So I do not use this deck very often. I love it. I think it's beautiful. And if you are more of an overhanded shuffler, then this deck might work for you. The cards are matte, almost like a velvety matte, so they do stick together. So even overhand shuffling is a little difficult with this deck. You know, if this is just for art purposes, it's perfect. But the only thing that I would say, you know, if we're reviewing things honestly, is if they are insistent on keeping the shape, they need to make the card slide a little bit easier, because there's a lot working against it for shuffling purposes. But again, it's so freaking beautiful that sometimes I'll break it out and use it just for the purpose of getting to look at these gorgeous cards. It's different. It's not like any other deck I own, and I think that that's special and important. And if you have any questions about this deck, go ahead and ask. If you have this deck, let me know.